Welcome back to the Larry Hembree pregame show. We're on our Where Are They Now segment, and I'm talking with David Walker, 1945 graduate of Loogootee High School, with him in his home in Tustin, California. Dave, how are you this evening?
Just fine, Larry. Thank you.
It's good to talk to you. Dave, you played in 1945. You recall a few of the guys you played ball with then?
Oh, yeah. I remember, I think I remember most of them. Calvin Beasley and Ray Patterson, Russ Jones, Paul Bruner, I think Billy Carter was playing, and I hope I don't leave anyone out, but those are some that come to my mind right away.
Now, you graduated in 1945, and I believe you guys, you win a sectional that year?
No, we got beat by Washington Hatchets, who went on to win the state championship.
In 1945.
Oh, yeah, they beat us like a rug in the sectional.
Well, you know, you had a pretty good year that year. You all made it to the Final Four of the Wabash Valley Tournament, which was a very prestigious tournament. In that particular year, there was 114 teams that had competed, and you made it. You got beat by a Bridgeport, Illinois team.
Yes, uh-huh.
And looking at the scorebook here, Dave, you had a pretty good game. That game, 17 points. And when you graduated, you went on to play college ball for a couple of years, didn't you?
Yeah, at Indiana University.
What kind of experience was that for you?
It was a great experience. To be honest with you, I was first year was under Harry Good, and who coached and then later went to Nebraska. And then the second year was Branch McCracken came back from the service along with a lot of other ball players. And I only played 2 years because they discontinued my scholarship. They didn't figure that I needed it, and Branch told me he had to give it to somebody else. So I told him, I said, well, listen, Branch, if I don't get a scholarship, I've got to go to work, and that's what I did. But Branch McCracken was a fine man, and he helped me later to get into Notre Dame Law School with a great recommendation.
Well, that's good. So you are an attorney then?
Yes, I am.
And how'd you end up in California, Dave?
Well, I have at the time I came out here in '54. I tried to stay in Indiana. I was admitted to the bar there, but I couldn't find anything. Things were very difficult. So I had a brother and sister out here, and I just decided to give California a try. I'd come out on vacation with my dad. And then when we got back home in Loogootee, why then I decided to come back to California, and I've been here ever since '54.
Well, since you mentioned your parents, there's a lot of walkers in this part of the country. Who were your mother and father?
Pardon?
I said there's a lot of walkers in this part of the country. I was just curious who your mother and father were.
Leo Walker, who was a miller and had a mill in Washington, Indiana, and then my mother was Marguerite Browning Walker. Her dad. My mother's dad was the former mayor of Loogootee.
Okay.
Browning, Mr. Browning.
Right. And now, where did you all kind of grow up at?
We all grew up around Loogootee there on, I think it's 401 South Main Street.
401 South Main Street.
Yeah, I forget where it's 401 or 411. It's on the corner there. And when Dad died, then we sold the homestead, and my brother Tommy lived next door, but Tommy died, and then his wife sold there. She now lives out there, I can't think of the street there in Loogootee.
Well, do you ever look forward to coming back to town when you get the opportunity?
Oh, I love to come back to Loogootee. When our family was growing up, we came back, 2 or 3 times and brought all the kids. It's quite a project because we had 7 children. And my wife now is deceased, but, we used to have a great time going back to Loogootee, and the kids loved it. Kids love to go back there and see the old stomping ground.
Well, Loogootee quite a cultural shock, I'm sure, from the East L.A. area, or not East L.A., but east of L.A. where you're living at now.
Yeah.
Coming back to a town the size of Loogootee, but,
You know something, though, Larry? Tustin, when we came to Tustin, was 4,000 people. That's amazing to a lot of people, but now they have 60,000. That's just how it's grown.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit before we went on the air. Is El Nino causing you all any trouble out there?
Oh, yeah, we've had a lot of rain. I don't understand El Nino, but there is a lot of rain this year. Of course, we've had it in years past, too, you know. But, you know, whenever you hear all these horrible stories about the rain, but, you know, I usually try to walk every day. And, you know, I usually get to walk in. It rains a while and then it quits. Sunshine comes out. And so it's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be on the news.
Okay. In 1945, you know, the game was a lot different probably then. Maybe it is now.
Oh, no question about it.
What do you think about today's ball game?
I think that the players are so much better than we were. I don't know whether they're in better shape or I think they just expand what they can do. You know, no one ever thought of dunking the ball or jumping above the rim to take a shot. And so many of these players today, I mean, high school guys are really good. This guy that's playing for Kansas now is from a town where we used to live, Villa Park, California. The big tall guy, 7-footer. Well, you know, that guy is a tremendous ball player just for a freshman, and he was great in high school. So I think the players are so much better, Larry.
Well, you were out in California during the John Wooden era, and
yes.
Of course you're a graduate of Indiana
yes.
University. Did you make the switch to a UCLA Bruin fan, or have you remained a IU Hoosier fan through the years?
Oh, I'm a Hoosier fan all the way. The other night I watched the Indiana-Purdue game and naturally, you know, rooted for Indiana, but I love to watch the Hoosiers play. I think they have a great team. They usually do every year, year in, year out.
Right. We've had a little tough luck in the first round of the tournament the last few years, but hopefully they'll get that bug out of the way this year.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I think Knight does a good job, really. I think he's a great coach, and I think he's learning that these players are people, and I think that's good. I think Knight's going to be okay.
Well, we all hope so here too.
Yeah.
We love our basketball in Indiana, I hope as much as ever.
Exactly.
Now, do you ever get back to the IU campus any?
I was back there when I came out for my 50-year reunion from high school. On my way back to Indianapolis, I stopped and went through the campus and saw where my fraternity house was and all that.
Has it changed much since you were there?
Yeah, where the fraternity was is now a parking lot.
that never makes a guy feel too good, does it?
Well, they moved it down the street.
Well, you know, you've played basketball, and I know you played, you know, in the 40s. But Dave, what did playing basketball in high school mean to you?
Well, one thing it did for me, it gave me a lot of confidence, I think, and kept me busy on times that, you know, probably wouldn't have anything to do. But it was sort of a way of life for me until as long as I played, you know. But I think that's what it did for me. I really enjoyed it, and I loved it, you know, growing up.
Who was your coach in 1945?
The coach was a man by the name of Kreitzer. The senior year, he came up from Du Bois. And prior to that, it was Costello, Leo Costello.
Right. Now, you played in the old gym up there and on, you know, JFK Avenue here in town. And
yeah.
What kind of
Is that JFK Avenue now?
Right, that's what they call it. What was it called when you were there?
Just 45, I think.
45, right. And now, did you draw big crowds in 45? Was the gym full of people?
Oh, usually, yeah. We had usually a packed house, as I recall.
And now, in 46, you say Washington Hatchets won the sectional in 45. Now, you would have played then in 44, 43. Did you ever have the opportunity to win a sectional?
No, we didn't. We never won a sectional.
I think in 47, Loogootee actually got a sectional, and then, of course, in the Jack Butcher era, I think 49, 50, 51, they won a few sectionals. But You know, now we got class basketball in Indiana for the first time this year, where there's 4 classes, and there's
is that right?
Right, and there's no longer a Washington sectional for Loogootee. Loogootie's now playing up at Odin in the North Davis sectional.
Oh, well, that'd be interesting.
Things have changed.
Uh-huh.
I know if you didn't realize we have class basketball. What do you think about class basketball?
Well, I think it's probably a good idea. First of all, I think Jack Butcher is a tremendous coach to win to have the winning record that he has. I understand he has one of the best winning records of coaches in Indiana.
He is third on the list right now with 732, and the record as of now is 759, but there's some controversy whether that number is even accurate or not. So he may have already broke the record, but if they don't change it, he needs 27 more wins, and he will be the all-time winning coach in Indiana.
Oh, that's great. Well, Jackie deserves it. He's a good guy. But as far as the class basketball, that's what they have in California, you know, different steps. And I think it's probably more an even competition. But other than that, I don't know too much about it.
Well, listen, Mr. Walker, it's been Dave. Okay, it's been a pleasure talking to you this evening. Anything you want to say to the fans of Loogootee?
The only thing I would like to say is hello to everyone, and for the students there to study hard, because it's going to be necessary whenever you graduate. That's all I would say.
Well, I also want to
Larry, thank you for the interview.
Right, that's great. I want to thank one more person, Mr. Joe Doyle. I don't know if you know Joe Doyle or not, but Joe tracked down your phone number for me, and also had suggested to me that you might be a real good guy to interview. That as far as we could tell, you're the only graduate from Loogootee High School to ever play basketball at Indiana University. So congratulations.
Is that right?
Right. So congratulations on that feat, and you take care of yourself out there.
Okay, Larry, and thanks again.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.